All right. Thank you guys for joining us on Volunteer Vibe today. I'm here with my co-host, Cadence Welters, as usual. And we are here with Grady Ruehling. Cadence, I'm going to let you take it away and start us off with the questions for Grady.
Okay, Steven, sounds great. Grady, just to get us started, thank you so much for joining us. For people who don't know you yet, could you give us a quick introduction about who you are and what's your 4-H story and how did you first get involved in 4-H?
Hi, my name is Grady Ruehling. I am a 11-year 4-H member from Perry County in the Southeast region. I have had a lot of experience through 4-H. It has taught me to grow, and has taught me to have public speaking skills, and has taught me things that I never thought this great organization has done. My 4-H experience and my 4-H story started back when I was 8, when I showed my first head of livestock. That was the kind of the building block of my career, I could say. That taught me to grow, and it taught me what 4-H is all about. 4-H is about building others and making others building better people. And I feel like showing livestock really taught me to have a passion to lead others and to speak about 4-H at the state, the national level, and that taught me to become a leader. I feel like 4-H has taught me to be a leader. It's taught me to have a voice in this great organization.
Awesome, awesome. So you kind of mentioned livestock and some public speaking. What's some other projects and activities in the 4-H Youth Development Program that have meant the most to you, and why those specifically?
Another one that has meant the most to me is I really like to take pictures. Getting to have the opportunity to do photography at such a great age of kids getting to have to do photography to get learn how to edit pictures, take pictures. Photography is just really just to snap a picture, something that means a lot to you. And I've had a lot of good memories taking pictures for 4-H.
Cool. What's one achievement that you're really proud of, that most people wouldn't see from the outside? Maybe something behind the scenes, not just trophies. I know you mentioned your public speaking, but what's another thing that maybe people wouldn't see right away?
I think one thing that I don't think people would see about me is I feel like 4-H. The one thing I have took from 4-H is my biggest achievements getting that green jacket for state council. A lot of people from the outside of me wouldn't really say Grady did that, but getting that green jacket and getting to be a state council member has really been very close to me to have a voice and to inspire people from down where I'm at is down in the southern part of Missouri. We're not the most known for all the 4-H achievements and accomplishments. We have great 4-H background back here, but we just don't have the bigger voice. But I feel like that's been an achievement of mine to show kids my age and kids younger that you can do it. It's not where I like to say it's not where you come from, but it's where you're going. And I feel like my background of from back down south of where I've came from has just really been inspiring to my own self and inspiring others.
Hey,
Awesome.
can I just jump in here, kids? That's really interesting, Grady. I'm just curious because you mentioned about how you're one of you feel like sort of rise to to the level that you have in 4-H. I'm just wondering, is there anything that you think was different about your experience than maybe some of the others that you've been involved with in 4-H?
Yes, sir. I think for me that has been really different than others is I just never give up. Uh, I've had some stones some stones in my path that have kind of I've not had the experience of everybody else on different states. I've had to kind of just put my head down and do it myself and make sure that I can leave a legacy for not me, my family, and the 4-H, but for other kids that I can show them that like my older brother is a big inspiration to me. He's kind of the other one of the earlier generation, I could say. He's 8 years older than me, but he kind of had the same voice. We
Is he
just
also
we just
sorry,
have.
sorry.
Huh?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. Is he also a 4-H'er, your older brother?
Yes, he was a 4-H'er for 11 years. He was a state council member as well. But anyway, he taught me that you just got to have the voice, and you just got to take every opportunity and every the thing about me is maybe others is any opportunity I ever seen from 8 to now, I grabbed it and I went with it. And I worked as hard as I could to get where I am now. And it's been a very, very long journey, but I'm very blessed and thankful for all the people and all the other uh, other people that have been behind me through this whole way. But the legacy and the journey of 4-H has just been very, very meaningful to me.
That's interesting. I think Caden's gonna now ask you some questions about the people that you just mentioned, the people that have helped you and supported you along the way. So Cadence, go ahead.
Yeah, that was really awesome, Grady. Um, Now kinda based off of what you talked about, kinda wanted to ask you, if there's a specific person or 4-H volunteer that really made a difference for you, like that's something that they said or did that really stuck with you.
I'm gonna do my parents, and then there's a lady that, I'm not gonna name drop, but there's a lady that helps us at the fair with our livestock, and, we call her the pig lady in our county. She has been a 4-H volunteer for a very long time, and she has meant so much to me as like my parents. When there's hard times in the ring or if I didn't do place this or place that, that 4-H volunteer was there to help me, to show me that we can do this, Grady. We can achieve your goal. And I feel like that 4-H volunteer has just taught me to have a voice and to never give up and then to bounce back onto my parents. My parents have been here for me for since I was such a baby. I mean, they've just meant so much to me. They travel and go with me to all the pig shows and the sheep shows, and wherever I go, they're with me. And I feel like the 4-H volunteer and my parents is just a great thing about 4-H volunteer is that they're there. There may be there may be you just gotta ask. I like to say sorry. I had a little pause there in my voice, but maybe just you gotta ask, and then 4-H volunteers will help you grow and to become what I've become. And it's just means a lot to me that the 4-H volunteers are always there to help.
So Grady, how long did you this particular volunteer that you referred to, um, how many years did you work with her for? I mean, have you was it just a short period of time, or was it over a number of years?
I have worked with her since I was the age of 8. I've I have done my livestock, my pig project since I was the age of 8, and I still work with her now to this day, and it's great to see that now she has grandkids coming into the 4-H atmosphere, and, I've worked with her for about 8 years, 8 to 11 years, but she's just been very, very inspiring to me in my career.
Yeah, that's great that you've had that opportunity to work for her work with her for so long.
Yeah, that's really awesome, Grady. So kinda going off of that a little bit, how have volunteers in general, you've had several volunteers, you've got volunteers your county level, you've got people that work for the extension. How have all those volunteers helped you grow, not just as a member, but as a person or a leader?
I could say, going back to when I was 8, I didn't have the biggest voice. I kinda stayed to myself, but, the 4-H volunteers, they were always there for me in the 4-H. Like, my parents and the 4-H volunteers, they were always there. They, they they gave me a lot of opportunities, and they taught me things that, means a lot to me. They taught me that, you just gotta get out there and speak and talk to people and make connections. I feel like making connections is what the 4-H volunteers have taught me the most. Making connections that will leave a lifetime is what I like to say. I feel like the connections I've made by becoming that quiet little kid and letting that 4-H volunteer guide me and help me and mentor me has just helped me become who I am now by the way I can make connections with people that just not outside of 4-H, but everywhere. I feel like if you can make a connection by talking to other people, for me now as I get older, them connections that I've made from 8 to 18 will just help me evaluate
Right.
and just evolve into maybe a career in 4-H one day. But I feel
Mhm.
like 4-H volunteers, and by the way, they can teach you a lot of things. But the thing I've learned most from them is making the connections and talking and speaking and making that relationship with people all across the state, the country, or wherever we're at. Thank you.
That's really interesting that you, just mentioned about connections, and Cadence, I mean, you can feel free to answer this question as well. When I was at the award ceremony earlier this year, here in Columbia, I forgot who gave the keynote speech from your from the state council, but her whole speech was about connections and how
Mhm.
4-H.
Casey Hallra, yeah.
Was it Casey? Oh, it was Casey, of course,
Yeah.
Casey. I totally forgot, yeah. And so her whole speech was about connections, which is really interesting to me. So as my question I have actually a question for both of you is, as teens, like, this is one of the things that we're like, people are very concerned with nowadays is especially with teenagers and their ability to make these healthy connections. Can you guys talk a little bit about how 4-H helped you guys to do that, and how significant was that for you guys? Grady, you wanna go first? And then I'd love to hear from Cadence as well, if possible.
Yes, sir. I can go. I think talking back about how 4-H has just connected me to people with the livestock. It's taught me to. It's taught me a lot of. It's taught me a lot of stuff. It's taught me to talk to talk to people. I feel like the connections I've made in the livestock industry as a whole will help me become better. It's helped me get to college and connections. It's helped me to make friends and business partners and a lot of people that will always be there for me. I feel like the livestock industry and 4-H as a whole has just been a really building block of youth in our generation of maybe you know how our youth in our generation now, but I feel like the livestock industry is something that we can pull out of 4-H and build just not me but other people. And I feel like going back to the connections, just talking to other people and just making that connection is just the thing that's very, very good, I like to say.
Grady, you mentioned about connecting you to college. How did that happen? Can you
So, here's a story, it was 2023, I was showing livestock under the judge, Doctor Jared Mumm from Texas, and this was my first connection of many, but, I was just showing my livestock that one day, and, I had a very good day that day. I think I won champion market lamb, champion ewe, just God bless me, I like to say. I don't like to boast about my accomplishments, but I like to say just God bless me in that atmosphere in that day. I go back to my faith and how he's helped me, but God just blessed me with this person, and I met Doctor Jared Mumm from Texas, and that was my first connection of college, he said, he told me about his program and stuff. It's not where I'm going, but it's just one of them connections I've always had, and he's just became a really good friend of mine, and, just having that connection and just that day just showing how us 4-Hers, our hard work, our determination will make us bigger and better in the next generation
Oh,
and wherever we go after our career of 4-H.
yeah, that's really interesting. It's a beautiful story too. Cadence, you wanna share anything on
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I definitely say that 4-H is, taught me initiative, um, from all the volunteers and my parents, you have to take the first step. I mean, they'll help the volunteers in my area guided me and directed me, but, then they told me that, it's time for you to take the first steps on your own, and, that helped me make connections. Um, I had experience doing public speaking in 4-H, and with initiative in public speaking and the ability to just communicate with people, in general, I'm able to take initiative and connect with people, anywhere I go. I could walk into a room and I could, talk to anybody and make those connections, and a lot of those connections I've made have really helped me, in my real estate career. They've helped me as a teen, in high school. They really helped me, and I know that all those connections that I've made, all those people that I've met, they'll be there for me in my future.
interesting. So it's the confidence and the skills to connect
Right.
that have
Yeah.
really empowered you to do that. That's it, really
Mhm.
great, thank you. So sorry, Cadence. Go ahead,
Oh, no,
sorry.
you're fine. I loved it.
So back to you and back to the, next question, I guess.
'Kay. Uh, so next question is kinda taking a spin on this. How or was there ever a challenge or setback in 4-H, Grady, that almost made you quit, and what kept you going?
Yes, there was one year that we was showing livestock in the fair. I think I wouldn't quit completely, but for that particular year, I had a lamb that, we was having a really, really good run with, and, he just went off and just stopped growing, and he just got a little short, and when a lamb don't grow, it's like we like to make them grow to be big in the show, but, this lamb didn't grow, and I just had a moment there. I'm like, "I'm just gonna quit." I mean, I'm just gonna throw it all away and just start back fresh next year, and, I was lucky to have a 4-H volunteer and people in my in my crew, I like to say, people that have helped me. I had people that kept me motivated. They said, Grady, you've got 4 other lambs that are just as good. They just need a little bit more work. And getting to have that 4 H volunteer that's just there for the extra motivation and just help just really helped me. And moral to the story is I went back with a different lamb and another another there about God blessing me. I had a very good run at that regional fair, and I won that year. And just with a different lamb, it's just them 4-H volunteers are just really, really helpful. And God blessed me with such great people in my backing me.
That's great. I'm sure they will love to hear that they are, so important to your life and to the lives of so many other, people on 4-H. This is what it's all about, is to communicate this to our volunteers and to motivate them to keep doing what they do.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. How has 4-H shaped who you are now, Grady, at 18 years old? Your confidence, your work ethic, and most importantly, your future plans.
4-H has shaped me in a lot of different ways, but I think 4-H has shaped me to that I know that I have a voice that can be heard. I know that I have a lot of passions and drive to make the bigger better. I like to say is the motto of 4-H. But anyway, I feel like 4-H has just taught me to have a voice, like I said, a work ethic. But another thing is just to be an inspiration to youth. Always be there to help the next generation of 4-Hers, even though I'm going out at 18. My goals is when I get older, just to be there to help them next generation.
Awesome, awesome, Grady. If you could tell volunteers one thing about what youth actually need from them, what would it be?
I think for me, for volunteers, I would like to say we just need help. I mean, we just need maybe for a volunteer just to jump in at times that are tough. I like to say just we just need the extra help. I know for me that I had the blessing of having people that were just always ready there to help me. But I feel like if a volunteer can just jump in at times that are tough and just be there for the youth and to help them through the times that they need guidance through to make them a bigger and a better person, if it's livestock, if it's public speaking, or if it's creativity or arts and crafts, just be there a building block and a help and a mentorship that will help a youth even though we do all the projects, but then projects make a bigger and a better person. I feel like if a volunteer can just be there to be a voice and help, that's just very, very good and great and be very good for the next generation of
Yeah,
4-H leaders.
yeah, for sure. So what's a favorite memory or a funny story about from your 4-H years, that you'll probably never forget?
I think a funny I got one and I got both. I think my favorite memory was well, I already told it, but here's another one. It was me, my mom, and dad, and my little brother. It was our first livestock show that was not in the county. It was kind of a jackpot, our first jackpot. This is a story that just taught me just opened my eyes to the livestock industry as a whole and just livestock people as a whole. We get there and we're used to the board sorting and livestock going this way, livestock going that way. But to see the 4-Hers of how much hard work and passion they have in their livestock, to have that livestock so broke that you can pet it and just make it fall over just in a matter of a second, that really, really ticked in my mind. That memory of seeing what what people outside of my county are doing has just been was very such a big inspiration to make me better, to make my family better, and my whole county better. I just feel like that was just an eye-opening opportunity for me. I think a funny story goes back, we was in, team conference 2024, and, I forget his last name, but Sean, he was our ambassador, advisor there under our ambassador leader. But anyway, I kinda sometimes can get a little rowdy, if you know me very well, but, Mr. Sean, he was a 4-H volunteer, but he was a person that just meant a lot to me. But anyway, the funny story goes is he's really, really fast, and, I thought, "Oh, I can beat him, I can beat him." So we had a big race that was my first year ambassadors, but we had a big race and, that's just that funny story, we get in the starting block and We both look at each other, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna smoke him." I take 3 steps, and I fall flat on my face, and that taught me to that kinda humbled me in a sense and, kinda, opened my eyes to, that it's just not all about me. That was kinda an eye-opening opportunity, even though it's pretty hilarious if you know Mr. Sean. But anyway, that was an eye-opening opportunity to me that, I just need to kinda grounded myself in a sense. It just taught me to have a voice and just taught me to, listen to others. That was my listen to others moment, I could say. But that was a very funny story, and, both of them stories have built me and just made me better as a person.
Nice,
That's
nice.
really yeah, that's really interesting. We're actually working on an initiative called Beyond Me, which is what you just said, literally, you just said Beyond Me. It's Beyond Me.
Mhm.
Whereas, like, this idea that, you work with caring adults and you work with animals where you're caring for animals, you're raising animals, and so forth. And so how do those experiences combined, right? Being cared for by adults and with adults, and then also caring for animals. How does that create this sense that you wanna give back, right? And so you've touched on a lot of that, Grady, in this interview so far. Do you wanna add anything around that? Like, especially because we haven't had anyone, I think, Cadence, yet on the podcast that's really focused a lot on livestock.
No, we haven't. We
No, and Grady, you explained it so well. I'm just wondering if you could just add a little bit there about that.
Yes, I can add a lot. I can talk all day about the livestock industry, but the livestock industry to me is, I've took this quote from a judge the other day that I was watching on a live stream, and he said, by the livestock industry that we're so different from everybody else. You can go spend thousands of dollars on a ball field or a weekend of baseball, but with one animal, with one pig, sheep, or goat or calf, with that kid will learn something that, they can take out of it, and we're making youth, the livestock industry, 4-H, leadership, we're making the leaders of our generation just so much better by them having that one piece of livestock that will teach them responsibility, connections, like we go back to connections, but I feel like another word that we can use in another area that I haven't caught on is, it's to help others. I feel like in the livestock deal, I feel like if we can help each other achieve and accomplish a goal, going back to the volunteers, but if we can help somebody, like if we can help somebody by helping them brush out their animal or helping them get a bucket of water, that's why the livestock industry is just so very close to my heart. It's just we're a helping hand to everybody, and it's just a very good community of people we show with on a weekend basis.
Yeah, yeah, that's really great insight.
Yeah, you expressed that so well too, Grady.
Mhm. Okay, my next question is looking ahead, how do you hope to give back to 4-H or your community after you age out, and what legacy do you want to leave?
Looking back, uh, I've done a lot of things, but what can I help to make these next people coming into my shoes? I I'm gonna go off to college here in August, but I'm gonna become a 4-H volunteer. I want to volunteer to help sculpt help sculpt kids into something that's just something sculpt kids into somebody that they can become a leader. Or I like to make a funny joke. I like to say if we can make a kid into a governor one day, we're doing pretty good. But that's just a great organization of 4-H, I like to say. But anyway, what if I can one thing that I can hopefully people will remember me by in the legacy is I was always there. I'm always there to help anybody. I'm always there to have a voice, and I'm always there whenever anybody needs me to pitch in. So if I can inspire kids from back in the southeast region, Missouri, to become a leader, that will just inspire me. And hopefully one day, once I get out of college, I can have a job with 4-H. And 4-H is just my passion. It's just one of them passions. It just means so much to me, and I just hope I can inspire somebody and tell them that it's not where you come from, but it's where you're going, and that's something I live by every day.
Awesome.
Well, you are inspiring, Grady. So
Yes.
is there anything else, any other ways that you'd like to give back beyond 4-H that you've thought about, or you haven't gotten there yet?
Yes, I'm a very creative mind, if you know, but one thing that I can give back that's just not 4-H is I want to start helping people if it's not in the livestock sense, but if it's just people in general. I just want to start. I want to be a helping hand, and it's a passion of mine to help others and see others if they need something that I can always be there. I think of going back to my mom and dad. My mom and dad have always been, or my mom and dad are kind of known as the people that if you need anything, you just got to call the ruling family because they're there, and I feel like that's just taught me to be a helping hand to others, and if somebody don't have this or somebody don't have that, I can be there because I have that resource and that opportunity by just making that connection. I go back to making that connection, but have that resource or that opportunity that I can help somebody involve into something that they're proud of or something that they can take out of 4-H like I have so much, would just mean so much to me.
Awesome. Awesome,
Great.
Brittany. Well, that's all the questions I have. Do you have anything else, Steven?
No, I think you've covered it. Thank you so much for coming on Volunteer Vibe, Grady. I'm sure our volunteers are gonna really benefit from this interview. We really appreciate you having on, so thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you,
you, Grady.
guys.